My past was a little bit rough growing up. My mom was an alcoholic and a drug addict and a prostitute, so I grew up with seeing addiction in my life from a very young age. I used to wait around in the parks quite a bit while my mom would be turning tricks and stuff, so I decided to get involved with the drugs and alcohol myself, and I got quite addicted to acid and mushrooms and pot at the age of 16. It took getting pregnant at 17 and a half to realize that I didn't want to be doing that with a child. Even at 17 and a half, I knew that that wasn't the right thing to do, and so I wanted to try to get an education. I wanted to do more than just sit at home with, you know, one kid and have my life ruined. You know, there was things I wanted to do, so I got involved with a program for natives that helped you work in the bank. So I ended up working in the Royal Bank for 4 years, and in that time met a man who became the father of my next 3 children, and he was very abusive. He was an alcoholic, drug addict, and my life just started following my mom's footsteps. You know, everything just started kind of going the same way. I kept trying to get out of the relationship, but I kept going back, and I think it took a move, and I moved to Camrose, and I ended up in a women's shelter because none in Edmonton were available. They were all full. I could do well for about a year. It seemed about a year, and then I'd always crash. I'd end up meeting the wrong people, just getting involved in the wrong places, and I started drinking again after a year. And then it just kept getting worse. I got involved with crack cocaine, and I started just losing hope and started getting depressed and, you know, just not taking care of life or my kids, and it just kept getting worse. It wasn't getting any better. I decided that I was going to try dealing, and it was one of the worst things I ever could. It didn't come by, it wasn't a decision I made, it was something I decided to do to support my habit. I ended up having 2 raids on my home. I had my kids taken away. I think that was the lowest point in my life, is when I lost my kids, and I ended up in jail for 5 weeks. And when I got out, I wanted to fight for my kids, but I didn't have the will or the strength. I was so depressed and I was so lost, and there was just, I couldn't find meaning in anything anymore, and I just didn't know where to turn. There was lots of stuff that I had to go through to get better. There was a lot of guilt and shame and hurt and pain, and there was so much stuff I just couldn't see a beginning. I came to Edmonton, and I remember going to Palmakers. I was so scared. There was just nothing left, and I remember walking through those doors and just praying, you know, just help me stay here. I was determined that I was going to take everything I could get out of that 6 weeks and continue with it, because there was too much suffering. And I knew how to be a good mom because I could do it. I did it before. I went through a very, very hard 6 weeks, very hard. I had to do a lot of soul searching. I had to look deep within myself and get rid of all the garbage. I was only there 6 weeks, so I went to McDougall House in Edmonton, and I stayed there for another 3 months. And that was really good. They see my determination, which was really good because I needed others to see the good in me in order for me to see the good in myself, because I still couldn't see it yet. Finally, after 3 months in McDougall, I had to find a place to get my kids back. I was really scared because there's nothing out there when you're starting back, trying to get your kids back. I didn't have no furniture, I didn't have anything, so I was lucky and got referred to a lot of agencies that, you know, I'm so thankful for to this day. You know, they really helped me get what I needed to get back on my feet. I think without the community support, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. It does take a whole community to help one person, you know. I had a lot of support. I had Catholic Social Services, I had ADAC, I had drug court, I have counseling, I have to have a sponsor. I mean, there's all these support systems that are around me that keep me clean. Without them, I just don't think that I could have made it. That's a very big part for me, is to be able to give back to my community. You know, I used to think, what can I give back? So I started speaking, and I didn't really think I was giving back until people started coming up to me and saying, thank you. And I've even had people in drug court say, if she can do it, I can do it, you know? So just hearing those little things makes a big difference to me. So that's what I try to do, is to give back by speaking. If I could say anything to the community that helped me here in Edmonton, I would say thank you. I'd say thank you from the bottom of my heart, because without them, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. It took a lot of people to help me stay clean. It took more than myself. It took somebody telling me I'm doing a good job, or, you're a strong asset, or, you're more than an addict, to help me feel good about myself. And, I'm still thankful for those things, because I still reach out to the community for supports for my kids. And, if those supports weren't there, I don't know where I'd be today.